In Korea, like, I can go out like at 4 a.m. and go to the CU and I'm not scared.
So someone had actually found my wallet, like called the police, gave it to the police, and the police was looking for me to give it back. I thought that was really shocking.
안녕하세요. 저는 미국에서 온 크리스티나입니다. 반갑습니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 스웨덴에서 온 마기다라고 해요.
I'm Dalia, I'm from France, and today I'm going to talk about how Korea is respectful in different points.
I think like a lot of people originally when I moved to Korea, they would ask me a lot, why didn't you move to Japan or China? Because they're quite big countries and quite famous countries next to Korea. But Korea is becoming so famous these days, and not only because of culture, but you know, everything around Korea. For example, just handling these days situations quite well. I know a lot of people in Sweden are talking a lot about it, so I think it's becoming quite famous these days for its own things.
Maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, when I first got interested to the music, not a lot of people knew about Korea. You wouldn't see many things on the news about Korea.
Korea is like very small compared to China and Japan, but I still think that Korea's economic situation is known like all over the world. And also maybe it's because of K-pop and maybe K-drama too. Everyone knows about Korea. I don't think it's just because of K-pop and K-drama. I think it's because Korea has built like their own economy by themselves.
And the food, Korean restaurants are becoming more popular. Yeah, it has quite a strong presence now, and it's just growing.
I don't know, I think before it was all about, you know, North Korea and South Korea situation, but now it's opposite. Like, we know that North Korea and South Korea opposite situation, because South Korea is expanding more. I think like South Korea is expanding more and more like every year.
Sometimes when I took the subway, they were testing out like new systems. Instead of having the seats on the sides, they were having all of them in the middle. I think that's on the line 9. I was really like surprised. You know, they want to try out new things. And I think even if I was like really rich, I would still have more comfortable feeling of taking the subway.
Compared to France, it's really quick to go from one point to another. In Paris, we also have the subway, but to create all the lines, it takes time. Just in Paris, we have the subway and the buses too, but it takes more time than in Korea. It's easier because you have more stations and you have a lot of lines.
It's quite cheap. When I had a car, I had to spend so much money on insurance and everything. And now it's really easy to just travel just using my T-Money card. And it's becoming a lot more easier with a lot of new buses and subways as well.
The subway is definitely the most reliable. I can't be like, I'm late because the subway was late, because you can't. It's never late.
In Korea, I've heard of this, like I've saw videos on Twitter and all, but yeah, I've never experienced it, like saw it by myself. But from what I saw from the videos, it looks really different from the protestations we do in France. Everyone is participating, but not in France. Only the people who feel really concerned, and the children never participate. Like, I've never seen the children in a manifestation like this. It's really different because of the police acts, like what they do. In France, it's really violent. Not all of manifestations are violent, but a lot of them are, and it's really dangerous to protest like this.
I'll first start off when I first came here. I noticed that there were a lot of protests. I see them a lot, and at first, to me, when I see a protest, like a big protest, I get like a little nervous, because oftentimes if there are really big protests in America, sides are so strong and then violence could happen. I was kind of worried when I saw some like big protests and I saw it happening a lot. I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Oh no. But I realized and I started learning that it's quite peaceful protests.
I thought that was really amazing when you look at how many people there are there got together for what's right. It reminds me of the movie, or the 1989.
I think it's better because it has a bigger impact. There is more people, since there is no violence, like there is no danger, so everybody can participate. So I feel like it's better like this.
Scary way, they will just shout their opinion and just try to inform others what they think is right. There has been changes made because of that. So I think it's great that.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I think Korea handled this situation with the coronavirus quite well, and people are really talking about it a lot in Europe, how well Korea handled it. So people are not that scared for my safety now, and I feel quite safe
Just like how a lot of people are gathering and helping Daegu out. I know that people are sending money and they're volunteering to help. There's been other cases where people come together and unify. I think this is something really great that they do here. A lot of issues get handled quite quickly when a lot of people come together.
Korean people have this caring instinct. Yeah, I think this is good that they are volunteer, because in France, for example, they try to volunteer, like people try to. A lot of people are like, oh no, maybe since you're a doctor, you may be infected, like I don't want to like be close to you or something like that. I think this is good because everyone is acting like they're caring for each other and they're not scared of each other. So I think this is a good state of mind in this kind of situation.
I often will go out sometimes with my friends, and sometimes I'm going home alone too, so I'm walking quite late at night. I've never felt really scared to walk home alone.
I actually never go out when I'm in France, like at night. I mean, I go out with my friends sometimes, but it's not like in Korea. In Korea, I can go out at 4 a.m. and go to the CU and I'm not scared. But in France, it's different.
There is one story my mom always tells to people when they're worried about my safety. And it was that around the second week when I was in Korea, I was gonna go to the supermarket and I dropped my wallet. And, I was panicking. I was calling her. I was like, my wallet. And then actually when I went back home, a police officer came up to me and asked me, is this you? So someone had actually found my wallet, called the police, gave it to the police, and the police was looking for me to give it back. I thought that was really shocking, because if that happened in Sweden, my wallet would have been long gone. I would never have seen it again. So my mom likes to tell that story. I think Korea is a pretty safe country, especially when it comes to not stealing stuff. I think that's an important point.
Going somewhere quickly, to the bathroom and coming back, even picking up my coffee, I wouldn't bring my stuff with me. Here, I feel quite safe.
You can even leave your cell phone for 1 hour on the table at the cafe and you come back and it's still there. I mean, this is really good.
Sometimes I even think how are people trusting each other this much? They're just putting stuff out here. I'm getting shocked when I see it, but no one's doing anything, so you can have that kind of country when everyone's being good.
I mean, I do think about the CCTV. I think it's good. We should have this in France more, but I don't think people would agree to have this. This is one of the good things we should have, because it's better. If something happens, you can testify. I mean, yeah, it's better. And I think this is one of the good points of Korea. And maybe that's why it's so safe, because people are scared to do things bad things because of CCTV. So I think we should have this in France too.
Works really hard. It feels like everyone works hard and it makes all of the services work quite well. It feels like people are usually quite professional. So comparatively to some other places I've been, yeah, it just feels like people just know what they're doing and they're quite good at it usually.
How people are polite here? I don't know, just little things just walking and then maybe you accidentally bump into someone, or you do something and then someone will be like, oh, 죄송합니다, and just be very kind about it, respecting others and talking in a very polite way to strangers. I think this is really important. And also a lot of Koreans respect their elders and they kind of take care of each other. So I think that's a really good habit to have, and I think other people should try to be like this as well. Respect.
So today I talked about things that I respect about Korea.
So if you like this video, don't forget to comment, and subscribe. Bye bye!